Hello there! Today in Cartoon News, at least the highlights of this video is Spookzilla maybe having a movie or sequel series later down of this highlights. The second news of this highlight is Monster Hearts probably make a sequel or a prequel, said the director, but more of that later on. And third, the highlight of this news, the fact the bad guys is announced one coming out in the future, and more cartoon news like that in this video. Of course, this is the first time on my cartoon video news that my name is Retro. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, if you like this segment, how it's going on, it'd be really gratifying and really grateful if you put like, comment, and subscribe. If you like how this is going, because one of those things that really helps my channel, especially how small I really am. I have sort of 100 some subscribers, today's close to 900, but of course my main goal to go 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I'm getting close thanks to all my new subscribers, people who like and comment. One of those things really helps my channel and really does. If you do, thank you. If you don't, that's fine too. Let's now talk about the news. Now, our first segment that I definitely want to talk about is basically Frankelda. If you don't know what that is, it's sort of a HBO or Max original from Latin America, specifically in Mexico. It's basically about a girl who is basically dead. You don't know who she is, but she's there for telling you stories. But between those stories, she has sort of a dark secret. Something is going on in the background. She's basically arguing with her own book, but they have origins, why they like that, why she panicking, why they keep arguing. It's because someone is basically holding them in a building, but we don't know why. And each single segment, you know a little bit about a little dark stories to teach you a lesson, till you realize they attempted to run away, escape from their own clutches of their own contract. That's basically Spookzilla. That was so popular, they're apparently making a sequel slash a spin-off series, but the only problem is the spin-off series was cancelled and the sequel never was announced. Everyone was sort of panicking what happening. This would be 2 years, no updates, what's going on. The creators of Spookzilla come out say, don't worry. The sequel became a movie now. So we gotta focus about Spookzilla and books and the Prince of Spooks. That's a sort of a update people are waiting for less than 2 years. But be fair, Spookzilla is sort of a stop motion animated project. If you do stop motion, it takes a little longer than animated series, and something is very beloved and treasured in Latin America because we don't have a lot of animated series based on ourselves in our lore. So when it does, especially animated series, it's very exciting. Especially, it is actually very good. And Spookzilla series, it is very good. The only problem is stop motion. It takes a long time to actually do a movie or a show. So it's sort of obvious, it took super long time to actually make the project. Now they're making a movie, but of course we don't know when's it gonna come out. It's just sort of confirming fast, don't worry, it's coming. It just takes a little while. I'm guessing maybe 2 more years. We don't know. We still have the second season. If not, the movie will be fine. At least we have something than nothing onwards. Other than that, are you excited? You never heard of this series on HBO Max or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, this segment focus on the discussive film tweet. They actually show you first images of How You Train Your Dragon part of Universal. And you know what? This first image just focus on How to Train Your Dragon looks great. In fact, you have 4 images. Each image shows a specific area, how it kind of look like. And you know what? It looks pretty good. It feels super accurate, super into it. It's something that feels just right, because do you not know, or you see my last cartoon breaking news, that Nickelodeon making his own sort of hotel, but you watch that, it feels uninspired, super corporate, and you watch this theme park, it feels super creative. In other words, this is what I mean. If you could create something by your own basic company, make it fun, especially if your company's known making fun stuff. Yeah, this is the thing you must go. You have to be a little bit more creative. I understand hotels and theme parks are different, but even so, what your brand is, you have to fully embrace it. If you don't, you feel sort of unlacking. In fact, let's say the first four things they show up is sort of a coaster ride, mini greet, and sort of kind of like a kite sort of flight with Hiccup and Toothless, and that sounds kind of fun. It feels super interesting, especially how everything looks. It feels super accurate and fun that I kind of want to go myself. Even that I'm not the huge fan of How to Train Your Dragons, not because I don't like them, I do enjoy them. It's that fully interests me, but this how it looks, the first images, screw that. I want to go. I want to see this. It looks super fun, super observant now, where you could actually feel you are in the world. But of course, this is sort of what it may look like, but there will probably be some changing in the near future. But besides that, it seems really promising. It feels very fun. But besides that, how you feel about the park of Universal doing How You Train Your Dragons? Do you like it, or you don't? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, this segment focuses on Titmouse, specifically a report of Hollywood Reporter, making sort of an article of Titmouse that basically Titmouse is signing in the WMA, if I'm correct. It just let me make sure twice. WME, yes, there we go. If you don't know what WME is, it's basically a Pacific company who are looking for talent. Specifically, people in color, so giving them a chance to do their own project to basically diversify any company who lacking of people in color. In other words, basically make more color projects. That's basically the main goal on the company. And Titmouse sign up with them so they can actually diversify. In other words, that's all about the article really says. A rest of it is sort of the history of Titmouse, what was created, what it was before and after. It actually is a very interesting read if you're a fan of Titmouse, especially the last couple of projects was sort of kind of questionable because they also did the Big Mouth Netflix project that was very questionable because how the animation is sort of cheap. In other words, I mean cheap. I mean they not fully detailed. Like was missing some maybe shading. Something about it was not really good character designs. But besides that, that's the one who actually make those specific projects, but usually with the budget, and also they had to work with whatever they got. They usually the one who got hired to make the anime series, but never create the project for the anime series. They was just so chosen to make the anime series, and that's it. Just to make that sort of clear. But besides that, they also the same people did Mudjug's Beavis and Butthead reboot. If you like that reboot, like how the art's still as good, like the Titmouse, but at the end it's sort of how much the budget, and they don't get to choose the project. So they ask them, do you want to do a project, yes or no? And they say yes, and they do whatever they can, whatever limited money of the budget really is. That's when you have good projects like Beavis and Butthead. Art style was really good, but then in Big Mouth, because the end is sort of how much they dive into. And also, they're not the one who choose the project. It's like they're hiring from because you're animators. You're basically a factory. That's all you really are. But besides that sort of questionable projects they do, the company still puts a lot of interesting ideas, sometimes their own, sometimes not. It's just sort of fascinating. The fact the whole page is just give you a sort of a history lesson of Titmouse. It's a short read, but it's sort of interesting how they became what they were, then became what it was, because at the very end, they were sort of a company who make t-shirts at first, but realizing they gave it more money from animation, and it just decided to shift it to making animation. But besides that, that was sort of interesting. In fact, when they sign up to the NWE, it's not the first time they sign up to sort of a cause of more brand their own people now, where it's more diversified. This is not the first time they do it. They had done something similar in Canada. They sign up the unionized animators, did their own decision, little things like that. They usually are trying to be on the ball, updates a few things, in other words, to make more safer for the company, more brown their limited knowledge, in other words. But besides, it's sort of interesting if you want to read it. There's not that much to it. Tell me down below how you felt about this. You think it will work for them or not? Honestly, I don't know. You can see what actually happens. Besides that, let's talk about the next article. Now, this segment focuses on a Cartoon Brew make an article about Tony Hawk. That actually he is making a cartoon called Skatebirds. And you know what? That is very interesting because Tony Hawk, believe it or not, he has a lot of experience. In fact, I would highly recommend watch any little documentary, especially on YouTube. You have some small little documentary here and there, like what he thinks about how they media portray skateboarders. I recommend those kind of reactions of him. It shows how much experience and how much story he has. Because when he sees something, he tells you what went wrong, why should do this, but did it in a way is sort of interesting. On top of all this, the guy has been there at the very beginning of the popularity of skateboarding. In fact, he was sort of a superstar because he sort of did a sort of finishing move every time he does a competition. This finishing move, I remember the name, but it's sort of the holy grail of skateboarding moves. The one he could go to the top of the skateboard and flips, but he could do like 6 to 8 times and land it back. That is sort of the most difficult move to do, and no one able to do it, at least in my understanding, because I'm sort of out of the loop for a long while, that he is the only one who could actually do it. It was so impressive. This is the reason why he always wins competition. That's what made him so well known, the craziness skills of this guy. But it's something that always surprised me that no one really picked them up to tell stories about skateboarding, especially if you're doing kind of skateboarding animated project. And Laughing Dragon is one of those groups who wants a Tony Hawk to experience making this animated new project. Now, Laughing Dragon is a sort of semi-new company. It have a couple of years. You might know them from the work, like the YouTube cartoon they did of Mario versus Sonic. They also did a Central Park of Apple TV, and also did the shorts of Descendants of Disney Networks. And they actually do pump out interesting projects and well-made animated series. But being well known, doesn't matter what company you are, you're still sort of a factory. You still need to pay your employees. Sometimes they have to choose some projects they're not really crazy about, but they had to do it to feed their own team. But interesting enough, this company is sort of small. It's only have 100 animators in under their belt, but they show a lot of promise. They are very exaggeration excited to do skateboards. In fact, they do announce skateboards will appear on YouTube and also on TikTok. The main demographic will be 10 to 11, but the whole project was the story they're trying to tell. Basically, a bunch of birds who can skateboard, but they're trying to unite as a team. It showed the town they're not a bunch of losers or anything. It's basically trying to figure out how to become better skateboarders and understand the sport. According to Tony Hawk on this page here, that actually says he wanted to do this project because he wanted to influence young people to go outside and do some sports. Even skateboarding or not skateboarding, this gives them the confidence just try something new. And actually, it was a smart idea to choose Tony Hawk with this type of project. I said at the very beginning, watch one of his documentaries, and he tell you stories about the past of the beginning of skateboarding, what he needed to do to make the top, what he needed to do to pay his rent. It's sort of fascinating, interesting, some of the things he had to do, especially some of them sort of questionable, some of them don't. Some of you see some behind the scenes that he was hired to do sort of movie projects. He had to play buddy doubles and the things you have to like, okay, I get this. But it's sort of how you have to be smart to become a smart sports athlete. Like, do the right things, think of it how the business works. That sort of experience would probably fall into the project, but I'm 100% sure they not fully embrace it or at least mention it. But it's one of those that hopefully will be a great project. Hopefully this animated small project will be good. In fact, each single episode will be on YouTube, but limited of 11-minute episodes. That I hope it will be popular specifically for Laughing Dragon, because Laughing Dragon is actually moving up in the animated world. They show very potential, could be the next Titmouse or next Walt Disney animated company. We just don't know. Hopefully, are you excited or not? Fans are actually kind of excited because it's Tony Hawk and can see what his sort of approach of this project. Hopefully, it'll be successful so it can reboot. I don't know. I'm just saying. Uh, the nickelodeon show called Rocket Power. That I feel he's the only one who could actually do that show justice or understand the character even more. But it's one of those a dream. But of course, it's up to you how you felt. How you felt about this sort of interesting project. You're interested or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Another one from Cartoon Broom, especially talking about Good Time by the creators who made it and the team who sort of understand the original. Now, to be fair, I have never watched the original Good Times. I heard of it. I've never had the chance to actually watch it because I used to watch old television like Nick at Night or ABC or any other network who show old television series. They usually do reruns. This is the reason I heard of it, but I never had a chance to actually see it. I'm usually the one time to actually watch the series. But I understand the series usually is sort of depicted a normal black family in the ghetto area, but they never was sort of a stereotype. I thought they always trying to move out of the ghetto, trying to become better because they were smarter, they were ambitious, but because always got something get wrong, they go straight to the ghetto. It's something that's sort of a running gag in the series. It was sort of smartly written, but until a point that sort of kind of lost focus. This recently has this sort of infamous father death scene because the main actor got out because he was sort of seeing they going in a direction he didn't like. So you get the idea how special Good Times really is. Now in the article, it says about how they was created, even that actually hired the original creator of Good Times. In all decisions, he actually says it was a good idea. He was sort of trying to push him the right direction. So yeah, if you want to know is this accurate, it's pretty solid. Especially the showrunner was Renee Shepherd. She's the one who did Young Love. If you never heard of that project, it's from actually HBO Max or Max, depends where you live, the name changes. But besides that, Young Love was basically a very underrated show based on the short called Love Hair. It's something I highly recommend it if you want to sort of wholesome and deep. It's from Max now onwards. But besides that, they also did the other one about Disney Plus of Diaries of a Future President. It was, how I understand it, okay, good for just a family type of show. It was nothing amazing, but it was sort of an interesting concept. But besides that's the two projects she done. This is basically her third project that we know of. And she basically explains she does understand Good Time and trying to focus the same way of the original show. But the only problem is she's still comparing to The Simpsons, Family Guy, and also South Park. Does give a lot of questions. That's not a good thing to do because those shows are basically outdated. They lose focus what they're trying to say. Especially Good Times. Good Times is sort of saying something specifically trying to become better as a person. You know you have the talent, just push yourself. You will actually get there. And it feels he should have crosses the lines that she doesn't fully understand. But once more, we don't know. We not seen the series. But how understanding around line, a lot of people, of the fans of the Good Times, are a little bit disappointed. Some of them are disappointed. Some of them think this looks good, but it's sort of in the middle, not really sure how to feel because not have the time to watch the series yet because it's not come out. In fact, it come out on April the 12th. But besides that, it seems she's sort of kind of gets it, but also sort of nervous because you see that sort of influence like the talking baby. That's just that's doesn't feel right because the Good Time what it is, at least what I heard of. I've never seen it, I'm making clear. But I feel they find the same traps in many of the shows trying to copy South Park, Family Guy, and also The Simpsons. You misunderstand. All three of them are very different, but all three of them sort of kind of lose their touch, except for South Park for obvious reasons. If you don't know, South Park always on the ball. Even the bad season, you could say they have some good things. The reason why they last so well and so hit the heart so good It's the fact they do it weekly basis per episode. In other words, their process is 5 days to make an episode. That is pretty fast. No other anime studio can actually do it, but because it's how cheap it is made, this is the reason why they pump out so fast. That's why it's so unlimited every single time. The other two never are because it takes 2 years to produce a single episode. That's what I mean. I feel they're sort of not sure, they not fully understand what they have and what they're comparing to. So who knows? This would be a good or bad thing in the show till episode 12. But be known, they do have a lot of competent animators, especially animators in the black community, working on this project. But we just don't know if they lost their touch or they know what they're doing. Just the matter of time of April the 12th. But besides that, everything else, this is just basically what I read now, where it's just saying they get it, they know what's about, they are trying to hit all the political plots in the original series, but more modernizing. You also make it a point. Netflix says, or one of the producer of Netflix says, this is not technically a reboot, it's a sequel. Just to make this clear, it's a sequel, not a reboot. Reboot, I feel, is sort of a more better, catchy sound to grab your attention. So, yeah, I know that it's a prequel. But besides that, how you felt about this article? You feel the animators or the main head writer understands, or you feel she kind of going the wrong direction? Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, that's all I can say about this article. Let's talk about the segment. Now, this segment is from Anime News Network. It's a small little article. It's talking about WB Japan is basically doubling their animated projects because last couple of years they only did between 5 and 10 each year. Now they doubling down to 10 animes per year. Especially Warner Brothers Anime or Warner Brothers Japan are producing the Suicide Isekai. So they was hoping, because if that anime is successful, they probably double down in DC animated movies or TV series. So it's all hinges on that. And also the reason why they dominate, because it's very profitable. But the main point of this doubling down of anime, especially Warner Bros. Japan, is because they're loosely looking for the 18 to 30 demographic. That demographic is sort of hard to please and find right material for them. But lucky for them, anime is so popular for that specific demographic. This is the reason it's sort of doubling down of 10 animes per year. Of course, we don't know if it'll be any good. You know, you keep rushing for more stuff, the less quality it became. But because it's sort of Japanese and their main focus of being quality versus quantity, we have a small chance this sort of anime or the anime boom of Warner Brothers will be good. In fact, that's the one who also produced JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Death Note, and many others very popular anime you probably heard of. And for some reason, some of you are asking, if they do produce it, why Crunchyroll actually has it, or why other companies do. If you don't know, doesn't matter what company you are, Warner Brothers or Disney or Paramount, is the fact they have different divisions on the umbrella company. If you work for Cartoon Network, you also have multiple different Cartoon Network from Brazil, Mexico, Canada, and each one of them had to make profit. So sometimes they sell their own selves to make the money of the required to. You have to basically sell or get money of like 10 million. So you sell your old properties for like Brazil Cartoon Network to Brazil. Cartoon Network Brazil to Cartoon Network America. They have that mark. I need 10,000. I give you this 2 shows or 3. I expect you back, and that's sort of make their profit doing themselves or outside themselves to make the profit. This is the reason why they sort of sell different companies, even that the company actually owns it. There are also other different reasons, but that's sort of to clarify why Warner Brothers sell their properties to someone else here in America, even it's under the umbrella of Warner Brothers. Even that American Warner Brothers never bought their own anime to distribute on their own country. That's to make it sort of clear. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. But other than that, that's sort of a very short little article. It's just what explain what they doubling down. It's sort of interesting. That's why I sort of talked about it. If you want to know about it, anything else, let's talk about the next article. Now, this article comes from Crunchy News, from Crunchy News Network. It's basically reporting that Spy Family, the movie, is coming out on April the 17th. Also, not just that, you also have subs and dubs, and also the ticket sales is on sale now. Just check your local theater if actually this movie come out. In fact, I love this series. Also enjoyed the movies, but I've not seen the movies completely. Actually, if I remember right, this is the second film, and the whole plot story of this is basically Lloyd and the family going to a trip because Lloyd was sent to a secret mission to stop a sort of, I remember the chip or filter or something like that. It was sort of hidden by the bad guys, and Anya ate it by accident. Now Lloyd and Anya and her mom trying to defend and protect Anya about the bad guys while actually revealing who actually are. And that's sort of the synopsis of the trailer and basically title of the whole movie. And in fact, it looks pretty good. In fact, something I probably will watch in theaters because the Spy X Family is a well written show. For right now, it's not going down anytime soon. The quality is still very well controlled, very well delivered, and very well beloved. In fact, would you see this in theater, or you gonna wait to come out in streaming services like Crunchyroll or Netflix? To me, I probably maybe wait. I'm not sure. It depends. I'm gonna wait the reviews. But besides that, I will watch it. Other than that, let's talk about the next news segment. Now, another one from Cartoon Emperor that tweeted out their Twitter account that seems the final season of Red vs. Blue will be a film called Red vs. Blue Restoration, will be dropped in the streaming service May the 7th. But it doesn't say which streaming service. I'm guessing HBO Max or Max. That it makes sense because Warner Brothers own Rooster Teeth. It also makes sense Rooster Teeth could be the last series they actually make because if you don't know, Rooster Teeth is shutting down. So I'm guessing this is the last project they're actually doing. I think they really shut down. I think this sort of works they actually finished or give it to someone else to finish. But other than that, it's sort of interesting how Rooster Teeth's first project, when they make them well known, could be the last project they work to end the whole company. It's just sort of weird this sort of happened. And of course, if you know the sort of problem things what happened behind the scenes of Rooster Teeth. But at the same time, it's sort of ironic. The show will make you success, and the show will probably end the whole legacy of Rooster Teeth. But other than that, are you sad? Are you glad? Are you hyped to see this film coming out? Even you're still watching because it's not as popular as it used to be around, I think, season 11 or 12. It sort of went down after that because it sort of went too long. But other than that, it's still very watchable, even how ridiculous and sort of cheap it was. It's one of those just hit the right spot in the internet, specifically on YouTube, because it does understand whether it was writing a very funny little series. But also kind of makes sense, make this the movie, because all the seasons, how they sell the DVDs of Red vs. Blue felt like movies than anything else. So it sort of makes sense this was a movie, just instead of cutting a little pieces, this is a long length movie instead. This is sort of probably the smartest thing they should do. But other than that, are you sad, glad, or disappointed? Tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, our next segment is focused on another kind of tweet from Cartoon Empire. They're posting saying Knuckles the animated series, the 6-part event, will be dropped on Paramount Plus on April 26th. So put that, you cannot be excited. I'm excited because I did enjoy the movies. The sequel of Sonic wasn't that good, at least in my opinion. They're trying too hard to be wholesome, but that old movie worth watching because of Knuckles. Like how they use them, how I feel just a badass without realizing he's taking things way too serious. And the trailers, they do not disappoint. Hopefully to be as good. It's all about him, and hopefully it will deliver the hype. If not, well, at least we still have Knuckles. I mean, at least we hear from Knuckles. I hope they have a story. Usually they don't, but I hope they do. They have something fun to do with this series. Are you hyped? Are you excited? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, this is the 5th or 8th time I had to make this statement because I had to make changes because Cartoon Empire keep updating this that uh, Jurassic World Chaos Theory. They showed the post of which year. He also the trailer about the new anime series of Jurassic World. And now they're gonna come out in May 24th, and the trailer seems pretty tight. The trailer, what it explains is basically Darius and his own team survived, but it'll be 6 years later. But it makes this so interesting about this sequel series is the fact they've been hunted down by someone. Maybe raptors or maybe someone else or basically jealous or knows something about the secrets they actually found in Jurassic World. And Jesse Darius very paranoid, very freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. In fact, when his friends knock on the door, he tried to find him and run away to get away the situation, not being caught or killed by this stranger or organization. That is basically what the trailer trying to sell. And the fact is, it really did sell. It really make me hype because I am excited seeing this trailer and when it come out. Especially, maybe one little nitpick is Darius' hair. If you not heard what going on in the black community, they all complaining about black people's hair. They all try and rip off the what's it called, the Black Panther movie. You know the Bang Villain hairstyle. Everybody trying to copy that specific hairstyle by black men, and that's the problem. They have multiple different hairstyles, multiple different ways to make hair, but they keep using the same hair. And that's pretty much, it's sort of weird. Even I, who doesn't know this couple of things, is noticing this. So yeah, why they chose that hairstyle? I understand maybe Kim Munger was that popular, that sort of make the thing look, but it's sort of obvious. Do your homework. But the only complaint I have, or at least I know, be Echo in Twitter /Ek. But besides that, the trailer sold me. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I want this now. It's that good, the trailer. I highly recommend. Even that CD, you can find it on Twitter. You know, 100% sure you'll find it on YouTube. But other than that, when you think about the trailer, you like it or not? Are you hyped? Tell me down below. Let me know. And let's talk about the next segment. Now, another one for Cartoon Empire, they dropped all the posters of all the new characters of Garfield. This new character's design, how they look, was sort of kind of questionable. Some of them really doesn't grab my attention. Some of them, put it this way, each character looks good, but it feels something they're trying to make something like Illumination kind of vibe. That's the thing that grabbed my attention. That I feel they're not creative enough, or I feel it's sort of kind of safe. Especially all the character designs they have. For example, Jinx, read her, you understand that sort of sophisticated type of character, but it feels a sort of snarkiness, something like Illumination would do. And it's not Illumination, it's a different company, but I feel that was sort of influence in making this project. Like there's another character called the Cat, that's his name, but it doesn't feel that much interesting to look at. You also have other characters, like there's like a moose character down below that's called Otto, that I feel something they do. Like I keep stating Illumination. It's like it doesn't grab my attention. It feels they're trying too hard. In other words, I don't know you. Maybe it's sounding weird to me. Maybe I don't know. You see the images here. You go on Twitter, go on Cartoon Broom, just watch all the posters of all the characters, but none of them really stands out to me. Like they feel safe. I feel they're not trying, and that's the thing. I'm sort of scared. But especially one thing you must know: Garfield is sort of run down as an IP. It doesn't have anything new to say. Even with the creator tried something new, it never really works out. So usually, the best version of Garfield is the animated series that they back in the, I think, the 80s or 90s. That sort of cartoon they make for ABC. That is probably the best version. Not because I'm an older person. It's the fact is all the jokes still land. It's still actually funny. Watch one episode completely random, and you'll be surprised how funny the show still is. Probably because they took all the good jokes from the comic book strip. And that's the problem. That show took all the good jokes. Now it became sort of a running gag in the community. How much is repeating the same jokes or repeating the same panels, not even trying anymore. And that is sort of the problem. And I think the people who made this movie realize that they're trying to do something different, but it feels something safe. Like they're not moving the next level. I don't know you. How you feel about this person's design? Do you feel confident, or you like me, not that confident? I feel could be very base. I just don't know. Tell me down below how you felt. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, the account of Twitter/X from DreamWorks are announcing the Bad Guy sequel will come out on the August the 1st on 2025. And when I heard online the synopsis of the story of the movie, is basically the bad guys became the good guys trying to help the town, but I don't know, a new crew actually are doing more criminal stuff as them. To stop them, they become once more criminals to stop their own thievery. But interesting enough, this new group will probably be female. That's sort of the rumors. We not yet fully confirmed. But besides that, that's sort of the synopsis of the film of the sequel of the bad guys. That nobody really was sure they get a sequel or not. Besides what happened to the special, what people are waiting too long. Nobody thought it was sort of could be cancelled, or we don't know what's gonna do with the bad guys because everybody afraid will become another DreamWorks television animated series was not well made. Something like the special, but you don't know the special was created or at least in charge of the original creator of the book of the bad guys. But this is the first attempt to do something animated series. It wasn't bad, but at the same time people complained the art style wasn't the same art style in the movie. But sort of obvious, it was low budget, they probably couldn't make it, especially the creator of the bad guys. This is the first attempt to make it a animated project, so it's sort of obvious was sort of a little bit of train wreck. To me, it still got the soul of the bad guys. It's just it didn't deliver about the animated style. In other words, but other than that, are you excited? Are you worried? Tell me down below. Let me know of this new news. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, this is interesting. This is from comicbook.com. They asked the director of Ghostbuster Frozen Empire what was his first movie and if he wanted to make a sequel. And that movie actually was Monster House. In fact, he actually always wanted to make a sequel because it was sort of successful over the years. It actually became so much more popular, just enough to actually make a sequel. But the only problem is, he says the ending. The ending was completely satisfied. It ended up every single storyline completely. So it's almost impossible to make a sequel. But he does want to make a sequel, but he cannot figure out how to actually make it. He's afraid he will ruin the first movie if he does, or at least does not make sense making a sequel. He doesn't want to make it sort of a sequel-itis. He does want to make a sequel. It's the fact the ending was too perfect. This is the reason why the director never made the sequel of the film. In fact, he's partly making an idea of a sequel, but it's a spin-off series of the world of Monster House. At least it's one of those things he was thinking about, but he never really fully embraced the idea of the sequel. He wants to, it's sort of the angle, and that's all he talks about in the article of comicbook.com. Even that he started inspiration of Monster House is sort of interesting because he's basically comparing the 80s movies, specifically The Goonies and also Beetlejuice, that basically found a bunch of normal kids, normal life, and horror things happen. But they actually approach it a very semi-serious way. And that's why he approached the movie of Monster House. But once again, he wants to make a sequel, but he's afraid he doesn't come up with something interesting or something really different. In fact, I think he probably went in the spin-off movie, but sort of connected to a Monster House. That's probably the direction he was maybe going, but not 100% sure. He always says, never say never, especially in Hollywood. Who knows? We just don't know. But he does want to make a sequel. There is a possibility. It's just the idea. I mean, the movie ended so well. If you've not seen the original movie, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. Very unusual because it's sort of kind of CG, kind of claymation inspired kind of vibe. It's a weird film, but it works so well. Especially seeing the ending, how it ends up everything, and also how dark it is. So it's sort of hard to actually do that. In fact, he actually reports on his own words that it's sort of hard to make that type of movie nowadays because no one want to go that direction and that sort of genre sort of died. You could make it, but it's sort of hard to sell a pitch. But Monster House, because it's sort of a well-known IP, he's a better chance to make a sequel. But once again, he doesn't want to make a sequel just because he want to make a sequel that actually makes sense, something to add to the movie. So once again, maybe it'll be a spin-off series in the Monster World. In fact, how you feel if they make a sequel but sort of a spin-off of the world of Monster World, or you prefer a sequel but not sure it'll be any good? Tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, regular Kepler Twitter account, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a cartoon site. It's very reliable. That actually is reporting cartoon program from Cartoon Network is done the first short called Ice Cream. You see the first image and the whole theme is sort of ice cream. The reason why they made this sort of program is actually making more shorts, more talent. He also won the shorts. It's basically a pilot. If this pilot is successful and people are talking about it, people like it, they will make a new animated series out of it. So this is the first short is done. And wait to the next few updates later on in the future, seeing the other shorts and whether each short will be presented on Cartoon Network and also YouTube Cartoon. To show you which short is being successful to pick up to make an animated series, while the major executives meddling on the project, because they don't know, the executives have the issues of, oh, can you lean more this way and more that way, and have the chance to sort of ruin what the project could do than shouldn't do, in other words. But because of that, that's the reason why they created this program, to see the creators' full potential of their own project and hopefully get picked up in the near future. In fact, this is the reason why regular show got really popular, because they made very similar program in the past. It was super successful for them. So we hope the next regular show or next good Cartoon Network series will come out in this short program. Hope you're hyped. Hope you like the first done short. We don't know what's gonna come out, but be excited. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, if I forgot a specific news cartoon, tell me down below. Let me know. Ain't got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.